0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get started.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Welcome once again to a new edition of Fire Futbol, the podcast where we take a good look at the ins and out of this game that fascinates us all, the beautiful game of soccer. We have a very special guest today, a presence, if there ever was one, in the soccer fields of the Wenatchee Valley, on Ed Navarro. Ed, welcome. And we've been wanting to do this interview for a long time, so we're very grateful to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
A pleasure. Our
Thank you for the opportunity to come and talk to you guys. I just want to also congratulate you and Javier for the great job that you guys are doing promoting the local sport.
Thank you very much. And you're wearing the colors today. You're wearing
definitely. I'm a proud referee, so I'm always wearing
always, absolutely. Yes. Now, we were talking before the show about this very topic. You are a native of Mexico. You grew up in Guadalajara. You came here in the United States when you were 14?
14, correct. Mm-hmm.
And you arrived in Wenatchee how many years ago?
Well, I know it's been like 24, 25. It's been a long time.
Yeah, thereabouts. Yeah. And how did refereeing come into your life?
Well, it's like every parent, you want to go watch your kids play, recreational. So I started attending and watching my kids play, my daughter first.
And this was in Washington?
In Wenatchee. Wenatchee. Yeah, I never got involved before coming to Wenatchee. Okay. So I'm out there watching. Of course, there was no referee. I was helping the coach. I was the assistant coach of the team. So the coach, Ed, why don't you ref the game? Because, there's nobody ref. So I ref the game. I ref another game, and I kept refing. Okay. So back then, many years ago, Greg Olson was the assigner, and he was in charge of the referees. Yeah. So I happened to got to know him, and so he says, Ed, why don't you become a certified referee? I'm like, no, I'm not interested. Oh, come on, do it. And I kept, helping reffing recreational. And then he finally convinced me to become certified referee. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I did. And now I can honestly tell you that I do love what I do.
Now let me ask you, when you first started, when Greg Olson approached you and said, why don't you ref this game, what level was that?
Just recreational.
Recreational. So it wasn't like high school?
No high school, no club games, nothing, no.
Okay. And it was just you didn't have assistant referees?
Correct. No. When you play rec,
it's just the one.
Just the one referee, yeah. And like I said, it was a good learning experience for myself. Again, I believe that I love the sport, but at the same time, you have to realize that you're getting older, and you cannot keep up with, running or the plays, or you can get hurt more. Yeah. So then I decided, you know what? I like the sport. Why not be connected by becoming a referee? Yeah. So that's what I did, and then I became certified. Yeah. There's a process that we do every year. No matter how long you've been reffing, you have to go through recertification. So every year we go through, because there's new laws of the games, there's changes, there's different things. So it's part of the program. Every year we need to renew our license. So then I started with, became certified, still doing recreational. Then Greg also said, well, why don't you start doing club games? Yeah. So I started doing club games. Why don't you become, high school games? And boom, and I started doing high school games. So it was a process, and it was a good learning experience for me. Yeah,
of course. What surprised you? What did you not know about the sport that we love so much that you learned once you became a referee?
Well, first you look at it, okay, you were a player at one time. Yeah. And now you become a referee. Now you're in charge. You're in command. And any decision that you make might have an effect,
an impact
on the outcome of the game. We always learn. There's not one time that and I've been doing this for 16 plus years, but I always get nervous before the whistle starts because it's always a little new learning experience. So it was how passionate the parents are, coaches, players. So you have to deal with that process too. Some coaches are very passionate, but they don't know the loss of the games. But they think they do know the loss of the games. Some of the players say, hey, that's a foul, that's a handball, that's this, and you need to be able to control that part in order for you to have the best outcome that you can have. So it's the passion that people have about this soccer, about the sport. Yeah.
Now, not only are you a referee, but now you teach refereeing. How did that come about?
Well, same thing too. Dan Sarles, back then he was the instructor for this area.
Okay.
And then Dan Sarles says, okay, I'm going to retire. And, there's always there's always instructors, but either in the Seattle area or Spokane area, but we did not have one here locally. So, Ed, why don't you become an instructor? So then, I go to classes, did my certification to be an instructor.
Yeah.
And that's been the case now. So now I'm an instructor for this area.
Yeah. And you teach what age? I've seen you teach kind of like high school kids how to referee.
Correct.
Do you teach adults as well?
Yes. So I'm proud of the program that we have here, which is, introducing kids to the referee world. So when I started, like I told you before, when I started with the doing recreational games, not having enough referees, so we started a program that we call Referee Development Program, and it's kids refereeing recreational games. They're not certified, but we're introducing them to the game. So what happens then? Then I teach that class. Teach them the basics: blow a whistle, call fouls, out of bounds, just the basics to see if they like it. If they like it, then Washington Referee has a program. So or USSF has a program to become a certified referee. Then they do their lots of the games online, and then we do a clinic on the field, and that's where I'm teaching them on the field. How to be an AR, how to be a center, conduct yourself on the field, show the yellow card, show the red card, blow your whistle. Depending on what you're seeing out there, it could be blow your whistle soft or just soft foul. But if it's a big foul, you want to make loud and clear so people know that, oh, I see it. Don't worry about it. I got it. So there's a process. So the youngest to be a certified, it's 13 years old.
Okay.
But there's adults that come in too. I started when I was old already. And
you were not 13.
Correct. I was not 13. Yeah. And like I said, and so there's a chance for everyone, an opportunity for everyone. Yeah.
Now, what has been a moment that you thought, I cannot believe I'm reffing this game?
Well, I want to say that one of my first games when I was in, that I said, okay, when you say, wow, I made it, So I was in Central Washington, university, doing a game out there for college, and the atmosphere, the players, some of the players that I saw growing up from this area, they said, oh, Ed, they were surprised to see me there, but that's when you say, wow, okay, at least I'm doing a college game, and that's exciting for me. That was okay, I know I'm not going to make it to MLS.
Yeah.
But this is close enough, and be able to do that. Another that I get excited is when I see young referees that started on the RDP clinic, they become certified, and then they move away from the area.
Yeah.
But that's their part-time job, being referees.
Oh.
So I see, players that they went to UW, and they're refereeing. That's their part-time job. Or you go to Spokane, and they're refereeing. So for me, that's another satisfaction that I started, got them started on the program, and now, boom, they're out there reffing, continue reffing, and making them a part-time job.
Yeah.
And it helps them not only through college, but they continue.
You mentioned something that struck a chord. You said, "I know I'm not gonna make the MLS, but this is close enough." Is there a part of you that goes, "I should have started sooner"? Perhaps.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I think, like there's the say that said, if I knew then what I know now.
Of course, yeah.
So I would have loved to. Yeah, I would have loved to have that experience. I would have loved to continue. I mean, regionals, national. I mean, there's different grades that you go through, and it's exciting to see those referees that I've been involved somehow on tournaments that I see them now doing national. They go to regionals. They're a national referee. There's some MLS. We have a local referee, Christian Clerk, that he went to Eastman High School. He became a referee, and now he's doing some MLS games.
Wow.
So that's exciting.
That is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I went to when I did one of my fitness tests in Tori Pence, who is a husband and wife. The lady, she did FIFA World Cup, and she was part of she was at the fitness test that we did. Pictures, so that's my moments of fame, that you can say, that is exciting to see that part.
Of course. Can anybody do what you do, or does it take something special?
Well, the fans think that they know.
We all do.
Exactly.
We all do.
The fans.
Come on, eh?
Yeah, come on, call me for the ways, do this. What, are you blind? I go, yes, as a matter of fact, but at the same, it's, I mean, you need to have thick skin.
Of course.
One of the things that I do like about the sport, being involved here, is that, I want to be in shape to be a ref. And some people, they believe, okay, I'm going to be a ref to be in shape. It doesn't work like that. Because, it's a fast-paced game, and if you don't keep up with the plays, if you don't, if you're not at least in shape that you can maybe not run as fast as the players do, but at least try to keep up with them, it's easier. So, there's a combination, mentally too, you got to be prepared. Be prepared for parents yelling at you, coaches yelling at you, players yelling at you because, hey, how come you didn't call a foul? Well, because I didn't want to call it, or things like that. Yeah.
Okay. So it does. You gotta have something in your toolkit to be able to do that. We're going to explore that toolkit. We're going to explore a whole lot more when we come back from this break. We're going to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We'd like to start this second half of the show by thanking our distinguished sponsors. First, our gracious host here at La Tortuga Loca, delicious eats in the heart of downtown Kashmir. Also, Koya Properties, proud sponsor of Fire Futbol. And last but definitely not least, NCW News and its newspaper, the Kashmir Valley Record, where you need to go when you need to know. Well, we're here with Ed Navarro. And Ed, let's talk a little bit about the pipeline, the program. How are you building the referees of the future?
Well, I mean, first of all, I say we represent in this area with the Wenatchee Valley Soccer Referee Association. So from there, we start, of course, recruiting referees. The program that we have, and I think has been very successful, is, again, introducing some of the younger kids to refereeing, which is to recreational. We offer clinics for that. We do one in the fall and one in the spring. Our average of attendees is around 24 to 30 every season.
That's not bad.
So it's really good. I mean, do all the 20, 30 plus, do they ref? No. But they're introduced to the program. Also, we offer mentoring time. So we tell the kids, if your first games, I'm going to be there, or another referee with experience will be there to support you. You're not there by yourself. We want them to have a good experience, and we want to base it on that part. We're there, we all get nervous. I mean, like I said before, I mean, even the first game that I do, I still get nervous. So imagine them being in charge. There's a good way, because they make money reffing. They get paid.
Okay.
So it's exciting because, the way I present the program to them is, look, not even your parents on their first job were the managers, were the bosses, and you are. You are, because you know what? You're in charge of the field.
Yeah.
And whatever call you make is going to have an impact. So that's one of the, and then once we do that, then we do offer to be certified. What does it take to be certified? Like I said, you go to the website, to the Washington Referee, and then you become, pay your fee, do the modules, and then you become certified. Once you become certified, you can do club games. We serve the Wenatchee FC, Wenatchee United, Kashmir Soccer League. We also, there's an opportunity to become certified and do high school games. So then, so the more you're involved in the game, the more you start doing games, then we say, okay, this guy has potential, and we need people. So we start slowly but surely with the process. You become certified, then we ask them, okay, I'm never going to throw somebody as a center if they've never done it. We want them to be successful. So then we put them as an assistant referee, run the line, master the process. Once you do that, okay, I'm going to put you as a center, and I'll make sure that myself or another experienced crew is with that referee, so they can help him out. And that center referee can feel comfortable, can feel like, okay, I have support from strong ARs. So then we go through that process. Same thing with the process, it's different doing a club game than a high school game.
Of course.
So then learning the process too. There's high school is have different couple of changes or modifications of the last of the game. Like one of them is if a player gets a yellow card, they need to sit out for one play. So there's different things that are changes. So they need to learn this process. We also teach them or let them know, be aware of what's going on the field. Some kids, boys are different than girls. Boys tend to retaliate right away. Oh, you push me, I'm going to push you back. Girls are different. Girls, they wait. They don't retaliate. They wait, and when you least expect it, there they go. Because you hurt my friend, I'm going to get you.
Oh.
So they can even hold grudges maybe to the next game. So you as a referee, you need to keep in mind of all those things. Have a good communication with the ARs, because again, each game is different.
Now, when you come to a game, do you come in with a blank slate, or do you know, okay, this is their good player, this is their talented player, this is the enforcer, this one has a heavy foot? How does that work?
Well, number one is we communicate among our referees.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? I just did this game. We had this issue. So we like to at least get feedback.
Okay.
But the way I call the game might be different than another of my center referees.
Yeah.
So it's good to know some history,
Okay.
but don't go with that history. Create your own.
Yeah.
Create your own story. Yeah. Why? Because again, it could be, okay, I'm going to be more careful. Yeah. I feel like people know the way I ref.
Of course.
So they adjust to my reffing. Like some people adjust to somebody else's reffing, So it's good to have some history, but don't base your decision on that.
On that history.
Keep the opportunity. Don't prejudge, and create your own story of the game.
And what about the coaches? What is the prototype of a good coach for a ref, and a good in-game coach for a ref?
Well,
some of them are really loud, but they don't bother the refs.
Correct.
Some of them are really quiet, but they get on the refs all the time. So it's a balancing game.
Yeah. So what we do is, again, a lot of the coaches, we know how they coach, how this. Okay. So as long as they're not making a point to embarrass us. I'll let them yell to their kids, no problem. But now once they start taking it personal, then I say, Coach, let's stop. Sometimes, me being reffing for a long time, I can go to Coach. I try to put some humor into this, and I say, Coach, the reason I'm here, because I don't want my wife to be yelling at me at the house. So I come here to relax, to enjoy, and then now you're yelling at me. And I just walk away. And I said, Coach, come on, I understand your frustration, but just coach your team. Don't worry about me.
Okay.
And at the end, I mean, it's part of the game, but we need to let the coach, because at the same time, if the coaches is yelling at you for calls they think that the call that you made is wrong, the players start feeding from that too. So then they start being disrespected. So you need to be able to control that to decrease the intensity.
Yeah. Wow. Now, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about a very, very big problem across the board for referees, which is the issue of referee abuse and the impact it's having on the numbers of referees available week after week. Don't go away. Welcome back. Once again, our deepest thanks to La Tortuga Loca for hosting us today. Also, our thanks to Hoya Properties and NCW News, proud sponsors of Fire Futbol in this summer, in this hot, sweltering summer of 2025. And Ed, one of the things that I've noticed is covering sports across the board is that a lot of times people would say, the schools will say, we're going to play on Thursday because we don't have refs for Friday. Mm-hmm. The numbers keep dwindling. It keeps happening. Shortage of refs. What is behind this shortage of refs? Is it a matter of just people aging out of the program, or is it a matter of refs just having enough of the rowdy fans, rowdy coaches, the violence that they encounter?
Well, the sad thing is people do want to be refs, and they want to be in a part of the game. But what's ruining it, it's the abuse that they get from, like I was saying earlier, coaches, players, parents, and that's what I mean. There's been instances that I hit coaches or parents. Well, I'm paying you. We're paying you for doing that, so I can pretty much. They feel like entitled to yell at you. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter the age level, because that's one of the problems. One of the reasons that we make a purpose of us being out there, even with these younger kids in recreational, I mean, we're talking U8, U9.
Very little.
And I have seen parents yelling at the referee coming out crying from the field because, again, the parents was very abusive. Because in their eyes, they're not protecting the player. But at the same time, I mean, even professional referees make a mistake. Well, we're not perfect. But the abuse that they get, I mean, the entitlement that they get, sometimes they don't even know the loss of the games, but they think they do know the loss of the game. If they see in their eyes could be a handball, just very simple thing, handball. But what's the intent? Was that ball to the hand
or hand to the ball? Yep.
So things like that. But in their eyes, that was a handball. But again, you're close enough. It's not intentional. Offsides. That's one of the biggest things that they, that was an offside. But if they feel like if they can be 10, 20, 30 yards away from the play, but in their eyes, again, offside. So
and there's only like a split second to make a decision too.
Correct. Yes. So that's another thing. I mean, like I said, like I told you earlier, is part of being a referee doesn't mean you need to be at least in decent shape. Physical, so you can keep up with the play. So part of it is being close enough to the play, but at the same time, to make the call. Other people, like I said, they're far away, and they don't even know what you're calling. So basically, it's the referee abuse, and then the referees not being consistent. One of the things that Washington referees just did actually USSF is referee abuse. You report it, and there's going to be bigger consequences for fans, for parents, for players that are abusive to a referee. Dissent. It's funny. My mom used to tell me when I say, "Mom, I'm gonna go ref," I say, "Okay, que no se acuerden de mí, mijo, eh? make sure let them call you, my name, because that was my mom always used to tell me. Dile que no se acuerden de mí, mijo. No, mami, yo te protejo. Y si te dicen algo, dale la roja. If they say anything, give them the red card. Yeah, but that's, and again, it's the passion that we'll carry, but at the same time, we need to know, and I welcome, that's one thing, I welcome parents, coaches, players, become a referee.
See what it's like.
See what it's like. I mean, it's fun, but at the same time, understand what the process is all about. So, yeah, I mean, we try to recruit again. We have, like I said, this program that we have people to learn the game, and hopefully they have a good experience. So the next time, like I said, normally on every clinic that I have for referee development program, I get at least 2 or 3 referees who want to become certified. So I like to work with those kids, take them to the next level, take them to the next level, slowly but surely, but for them to have an enjoyment. I mean, I have referees that do a first game as a center, and again, we're talking U8s, and say, Ed, I don't want to be, give me ARs, no problem, but don't give me centers, because the pressure, the abuse that they get from parents, from coaches, and that's what's making them not want to be involved. And I'm pretty sure that happens in basketball.
All across.
In all across, yes.
What can the consequences be? Because at a professional level, well, the team owns the stadium, okay, and you can say, okay, well, your fans are not going to behave. Next time you play without fans.
Correct.
But you can't do that at the high school level because they're tax-owned stadiums, they're tax-owned fields. So you can't say, hey, you can't be here. You cannot allow fans. What can the consequences?
Well, I want to correct you on that one, because and that's where we talk about the consistency, because we do have the support from the ADs.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, I'll give you an example. Eastman, a team from Yakima came down, very abusive towards a referee crew. I went to the AD. I said, I want this guy gone.
Okay.
And they rejected.
Oh yeah, you can eject single fans. I'm with you on that, but you can't say no fans next time. You cannot.
Well, I mean, and maybe that's what it's going to take.
Okay.
That severance of punishment.
Punishment, yeah.
That they can understand, and I know that high school are trying their best by even before the game starts, be respectful to referees, be respectful to
the announcer says it. Yeah.
So I mean, but the thing is that the consistency, and then also as the referees, for us to be consistent. I mean, if you're the coach and you're yelling at me and I don't address you, then the next referee is going to have the same, treatment by you.
Of course.
So we need to be consistent. I'm not going to let you yell at me, and I'm going to say, hey, watch for Sebastian, because Sebastian, he's rude, he's obnoxious, so we need to be consistent.
Yeah.
So that's another thing too, yeah. But I think, suspend players, coaches, parents, whatever. But it needs to be a message that no more, that we're not tolerating. We teach our kids and our referees zero tolerance.
That's important.
Yes,
That's
yeah,
important.
and I mean, we try to recruit, we're getting older, so we need But the field, I mean, I have great soccer players that became referees, but they says, Ed, I don't want to do it no more because of that.
And that is a huge loss, not just because you lose the ref, but you lose that love for the game.
Correct. And so it's sad because we're trying to recruit, we're trying to get new people, younger people to love it, to be excited about what they're doing. Yeah, and good extra money too. I mean, that's another thing too.
Yeah, I saw my car parked outside. Really nice.
That's a ref mobile. But so it's really it's a nice respect. I mean, that's what we're asking. We're human. We make mistakes, and we do the best we can. I mean, at the end of the game, we always said, okay, did my decision affected the outcome of the game? And if it didn't, I said, okay, I did my job. Yeah. And if it did, then I learned from that, so I won't make that mistake again. So yeah.
We got 2 minutes left. Really quick. In 2 minutes or less, greatest player you ever saw?
Wow, greatest players I ever saw. God, I'm not expecting this question. Javier Reina.
Me too.
Yeah.
Greatest referee you ever saw? Oh, where's your idol? Who's your idol? If you were a teenager again and you always wanted to be a referee, whose picture would be on your wall?
He's from France. I do not remember his name right now, but awesome. He was. the command that he had in the game, his presence, he was outstanding.
Okay.
And I mean, the way he dealt with the players, the way he dealt with the, making the calls, his approach to the game.
What era are we talking about? Like 90s, 2000s?
I would say 90s.
90s?
Yes.
So, yeah, so back in the 90s, the French had a really good referee, Michel Futbol.
Yes.
That's him?
That's
Okay,
him.
okay,
Yes,
all right.
yes, yes.
Oh, yeah, he was impressive, without a doubt, without a doubt.
Thank you. Yeah.
No problem, no problem.
But yeah, no, again, it's exciting. I do invite whoever wants to be a referee or get involved. Give me a call. I mean, we do have clinics. We're hoping to have a new clinic coming up to certify referees.
We're gonna have that information in a bit.
Yep, and I will give Javier the information. You can call me at 519-264-5177 or like our page on Wenatchee Valley Soccer Referee Association. Send us a message there. And like I said, we love to have new referees.
Absolutely.
And the opportunities there, not only when the leagues are over, but there's tournaments going on through the whole summer. So that's another opportunity that you get to go meet new referees, stay connected to the game, and continue refreshing your mechanics to be a referee.
All right, well, we'd like to thank Ed Navarro for his
My pleasure.
humor, his patience,
My
and
pleasure,
for sharing
sir.
this afternoon. Actually, it's still morning. By 6 more minutes, still morning with us. And we'd like to thank you for tuning in to another edition of Fire Futbol. On behalf of everyone involved, our producer, director, Javier Reina, I'm Sebastián Moraga saying thank you for being with us. We'll see you next time.